Hi, my name is Alex and I'm the senior technician here for Gatecrafters. Today we're going to be showing you how to set the limit switches on the ES1000H from Estate Swing. So the first thing you want to do after getting the actuator hooked up to the brackets and attached to the gate is set the limit switches. This is a really important part of the installation as far as getting the gate to open and close fully and for it to operate properly without any issues. Right now the opener is set up for a pull to open installation, so what that means is this is your retracted limit switch, so this is going to be your open limit switch to determine your open position. This is going to be your closed limit switch here, and this piston is going to extend out, magnet's going to go over it and trip the switch. Same thing for the open position. So the easiest way to set these limit switches is to use the control board. The control board has got a built-in continuity meter, so basically what's going to happen is once the limit switch is tripped, you're going to get a beeping coming from the board as long as you have it set to the right setting. So I'm going to show you that now. So to get into the limit programming, you're going to press and hold the set button here until you see PL pop up. You see we got PL there. Now what you'll go ahead and do is press and release button 1, and it's going to go to 01. Right now the piston is retracted and the limit switch is over this, so we're getting the beep right away. So if I move this off, you see that the beeping stops, and this is how you can indicate that the limit switch is not in the right position. So now when I slowly move this back, it may take a second to find the right spot. When it's beeping consistently, that's when you want to get your screwdriver and go ahead and tighten it down. We're going to go ahead and change it to the next setting so that way we can set the extended limit switch. So the next limit switch you're going to set is the closed limit switch. So when you're doing this, you have two options. You can either disattach the piston from the gate bracket and start turning it out by hand, which can be time consuming, or what you can do is use button 1 on the control board to operate the gate and then stop it in the correct spot. But in order to do that, you got to make sure this limit switch is at the full adjustment, so that way it doesn't stop anywhere in between or stop short and then you can't get it there. So you got to make sure this limit switch is all the way out just for the time being, and you're going to go ahead and hit button 1. It's going to start extending out. We're going to let it do its thing here until it gets to the correct closed position. And you're going to use button 1 to stop it when it's in your desired closed position. So go for a couple more seconds here. Alright. So now that we got it in our correct extended position, this is where we want the gate to close. We're going to go back over to the control board here. We're going to press and hold the set button until PL pops up. And remember, you're going to press and release button 1 twice to get it to C1, which is for closed limit 1. And now we're going to start adjusting this limit switch back because we're not using the full amount of stroke on the piston. So we're going to go back slowly until we get this in the right spot, and you'll hear that consistent beep coming from the control board. Now that we have the consistent beep from the control board, this is the right position. This is where the gate is going to stop, and we're going to go ahead and tighten this down with a Phillips head screwdriver. Preferably a number 2 will work in most situations. Alright, now that we got the switch tightened down and set, you can go ahead and press and release set. Until you get back to this blank display here, our position is set, and now you're ready to operate the gate for the first time. So as I mentioned before, this is really easy to do to set these limit switches up once you get that actuator attached to the gate and you got your brackets fully mounted. It just makes it really quick, simple, and easy to get the right open and close position without having to do too much and operate the gate back and forth too many times for the first run. So this way you can really get an idea of how you want to set up your parameters once you get those limit switches set in the right spot. And remember, to get out of the settings, you got to press and release the set button. Once you press and release the set button, that's going to bring you back into the parameters. You can go ahead and set those if you would like. If not, if you just want to see the gate operate for the first time, you can press and release that set button until you get back to a blank display, and you can decide at that point to use button 1 to operate the gate while the display is blank, or use your remotes. Just want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us or call us.